What is happening, Cryptosomniacs? Happy Tuesday. This is Jason. It is November 27th. We are going to take a look at some of the stuff going on in the crypto news today. Stay tuned right here on Cryptosomniac. All right, what's happening? How's everybody doing today? Looks like a slow night on this here Tuesday. Might wait a minute or two to let people get rolling in here, see if anybody is going to show up and say hello. But happy to be live, happy to be chatting with you guys here today. There we go. What's happening, Josh? How are you, man? I was wondering when I was going to see some people in here. How's everybody doing? Good, good. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Let's just jump into it. Whoops, let me go ahead and maximize my browser window here. So a lot of slow day for the market, obviously. Not a whole lot of good news. I'm sure if you are cryptocurrency people, you are well aware of what the market has looked like over the last few days. Not a lot of exciting news there, but definitely some exciting news in the news. So let's take a look at that, and then we'll do some charting, see what we think. So do we think Bitcoin has further down to go? Where does it look like the next blocks might be, et cetera, et cetera? We'll take a look at it. Real quick, I would like to point out, if any of you want to take advantage of the Cyber Monday deal, we did push it out. So if you're not an Advantage member, you get 25% off the Advantage subscription. If you're interested, just go to the website, click that little banner ad right up there. Other than that, let's go ahead and take a look at the overall day here. So yet another extremely dismal market cap. 24-hour volume very low, only 17 billion. That's pretty bad, but at least it wasn't bearish volume. High bearish volume like it was the last time I was on a solo show here. Market cap continues to stay pretty low at only 126 billion, so would really like to see some capital come back into the market, which I will speak to here in a minute. So in case you guys don't know who I am Jason Randall with Cryptosomniac. Got some snazzy new stuff I've been working on the just for the display here. So hope that was fun for everybody. Anyway, yeah. So let's just take a look at it. So first of all, Nasdaq doesn't give a shit about crypto winter. Nasdaq cares nothing for it. So the futures desk, although it has they had started talking about it clear back during the bull run in November, December last year. It looks like they are finally anticipating launching the fund sometime in the first quarter of 2019. We anticipate that could have a positive effect on the market, depending on if Nasdaq launches a trading desk and backed. What my real fear is there is that everybody that is a savvy traditional investor basically comes over and just decides to short the whole market to zero, because as we know, it's pretty tenuous right now. So you know, I'm a little concerned about another futures contract being on, but who knows? What's happening, Felipe? Thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for stopping by. So as we know, the backed launch was just delayed until January 24th of next year. Specifically, they were talking about it being wanting to have a better infrastructure in place before they launch it. So I think these are all reasonable expectations, but I'm not as convinced that institutional money coming into the market is going to kick off the next bull run as a lot of people on crypto Twitter are. So anyway, I am pretty happy that overall, even in the midst of a down market, some of the big boys are going forward and you know, looking to launch trading desks. So hopefully this will bring some more mainstreamers' eyes to it, and will help get some money back into this market. Hey, Elizabeth, thank you. And thank you for saying smash the likes. I do appreciate that. If you guys do appreciate our content and want us to keep doing this stuff, then please smash up those likes and hit that bell button so you know when we go live. You'll get notifications every time we do go live. So I'm very grateful for you guys being willing to hang out here with me, and would appreciate you telling anybody else if you think our content is good. And that helps us come up better in the search feeds and stuff. So smash up those likes for me, and I would very much appreciate it. So this was another thing I thought was super interesting. So Sweden is prospecting that they're going to be fully out of cash, and by that I mean no longer using cash at all by 2025. So in reading through this article, pretty crazy stuff. It looks like a lot of people in Sweden have, they're so far into the digital payments world that people are actually getting microchips implanted in their hands to like pay for gas, pay for food, things like that. That is way too big brother state for me. But this could be the next strong candidate to be a country that launches its own cryptocurrency. So we'll see. And obviously Sweden, not in the same boat as Venezuela, as Greece, as these other borderline bankrupt nations, we'll say. These Sweden is a pretty robust economy. So yeah, this is a pretty good candidate, and that's something I'm going to be watching, certainly. This article further goes on just to show that Japan, South Korea, and China, all countries that are really starting to press towards digital payment systems. I mean, we talked about this a lot on the stream yesterday. Hui particularly saying that in Korea they are so used to using digital payments and not using cash or cards that there's a pretty good chance that a number of other places might be the first one to be the actual mainstream adoption, just because they're a little more familiar with this method of transacting. So we'll see. Yes, Chris Wise, shout out to you. That is absolutely correct. I mentioned that on Monday morning. Yeah, it was Monday morning. So saw that Ohio is accepting Bitcoin. So let's hope that Ohio is long. I'm not super confident on it. I think probably Ohio's like, give us the money and then they're just going to go sell the Bitcoin. But fingers crossed, they want to start packing the coffers and taking that wager that Bitcoin's going to go up. And wouldn't it be awesome if they took a bunch of Bitcoin in taxes for Ohio and then Bitcoin mooned and suddenly a state, they were just flush with cash like Colorado was after they legalized marijuana. So pretty crazy. Anyway, yeah, I agree. Pretty cool stuff. There's a lot of FUD, and there's a lot of people that are, a lot of people are freaking out. Market's going to zero, Bitcoin's going to zero. I don't see it. There's too many legitimate business people with real money, with real projects that they are building in this space at this point. Now, is that exactly what Satoshi Nakamoto would have wanted to see? That may be that's a different debate for a different time. But I think very very unlikely Bitcoin's going down to zero anytime in the near future. Where do I think it will go? I think it will go down. I do, and we'll get into the charts here in a minute on why I think that. But here is another one. What's happening, Heather Starbuck? Hey, haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. So this was something we kind of touched on this a little bit on the stream last night. Yes, that's so spot on, Elizabeth. Americans are very U.S. centric. I mean, I say it all the time, right? I mean, I don't really know anything about politics or tax laws or a lot of the actual nitty gritty of the way finance works directly in Britain or Europe or Asia, or anywhere that's not America. So yeah, that's certainly easy to fall into the America mindset. That being said, America does control a significant portion of the world's wealth. So I could see why it's easy to get insular, because I find a lot of companies are specifically saying, like, there was a lot of companies looking to try to market outside of the United States in recent times, but most of the time, any project that's looking to really up their investor base or up their user base, et cetera, is coming to America when it's a crypto project, just because there's more disposable income here in general. Obviously, I'm wildly generalizing here, but yeah, I think that's a pretty spot on observation. So, anyways, back to what I was saying is we started talking about this a little bit on Trader Talk last night. So if you guys missed that episode, I definitely recommend go checking it out. But if you aren't aware of this, so 600,000 Bitcoin miners shut down in the last 2 weeks. So that's a rough estimate by the F2 pool, which is a big mining pool in China, and this chart just shows that the hash rate has gone significantly down. Now, that might be this might be media fear, right? Just going, oh, 600 miners shut down. First of all, who cares? Because that makes it easier to mine Bitcoin, right? So that's good. The hashing, when the hash rate goes down, the block rewards become easier to achieve. So that is a good thing. And then, really what this is saying is, very likely the majority of this downfall has happened because, or these 600 have shut off because they were just outdated technology that was no longer profitable to mine with. So they're talking about like the Antminer T9 Plus, Avalon Miner 741, and they just don't have the hashing power to be able to keep up. And so, yeah, there was a joke later in this article where it's talking about a lot of these guys are walking out with all of their hardware boxed up and taking it to metal recyclers for scrap metal because it's worth more to recycle it for scrap metal and electronic components than it is to try to sell it as a mining rig. So that's pretty crazy. I think the whole concept of an ASIC is kind of, I mean, it's planned obsolescence built right into the thing, right? So it's just, that piece of hardware is only going to be good for that one thing, and only for a certain amount of time. So I don't know. It's kind of like buying a fancier car than you can afford, I think, in certain instances. So, all right, what else? So in the most important news that I actually have for you guys today, did you guys hear about this? Bitpay and CoPay wallets private keys are at risk. So I'll just give you the short version of this article, and I'll post the link to this article. So shout out Colin Muller as the person that wrote this article. But this is just something I thought was, if you didn't see this, you need to know about this. So the original developer that was working on Bitpay, effectively, or not Bitpay, but on specifically the come on brain work, Android wallet, thank you. Sorry, I don't know why I'm like picturing the Android logo in my brain. In their Android wallet, apparently the guy who was working on the Android wallet for CoPay basically handed the project over to another developer saying, I don't have the time or the care to really continue to develop this. I don't want to work on it. So you're part of the community. I'll hand it over to you. So basically, the short version of it is the new developer hid some malicious code in the code libraries, and effectively he built in a backdoor to be able to pull your private keys. They have addressed it, so this is why I'm going to post this in the comments below. In fact, I'm going to do this right now. So if you guys want to get the info and know what to do to protect your private keys, it's the top comment now. Private keys, right? Check this. So anyway, okay. Yeah. So effectively, what it's saying is, if you do get a new wallet, you can go through, download the new Bitpay wallet, but don't recover your seed. If they haven't stolen your private keys yet, go in there and just send it. Make a new wallet and just send it, is effectively what they're saying. Do not import it from the private seed or private keys from the seed funds, seed phrase. Boy, I'm a hot mess. Yeah. So anyway, don't import it, because the software, with the bug that was written into the software, could have your private keys already being compromised. So if you import the new wallet, the problem is still there. So anyway, that was a long, rambling way to get to it. So, wow, dude, this is awesome, Chris. That's actually really good info. In fact, if you have a link, post that link for me, dude. U.S. federal government now offering training on blockchain technology to all employees. That's awesome, actually. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer, obviously, because they're going to need to start training up people. The IRS wants their back taxes, and they know there's a lot of people who did not pay their taxes on crypto. So, yeah. Elizabeth, I don't know if Syscoin is anything like BitPay. Do they use, this is the question, do they use, because the vulnerability was actually in CoPay. So basically, that's like a protocol solution that goes on top, or a CoPay software. Basically, it's a second layer solution. So there's been a bunch of other things built onto that, and the code was into that. The malicious code was in that second layer, not in BitPay's actual wallet. So just to clarify that. But I don't know. I couldn't tell you. If I would say that would probably be a good thing to look into. Does Syscoin have any affiliation with Copay, C-O-P-A-Y? Because if so, then you might want to take appropriate action. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Get your private key swiped on BitPay. Follow this link and cool. All right. Hopefully that showed up. If it didn't, it will be there. It'll be there in the comments once we are done here. So, yeah. All right. Crypto is playing with my emotions, says Charmaine. Yeah, man. Understandable. Or I don't know if you're. I don't know what gender you assign. So, sorry. The man was a general. Like, yeah, man. Anyway. Yeah, Chris Wise, if you do have a link to that, I would love to get more information on that because I'd like to know what they're training them on. But again, going back to it is the IRS has got a big task force specifically looking into going in and finding out back tax evaders in the blockchain. And guess what? That's on the record forever unless you were just using Monero or one of the other privacy-focused ones. So eventually they could do it. Maybe they will. Maybe that's why they're offering it to everybody because they want to get their employee base trained up in time to get you before that statute of limitations runs out. I don't know. Put your tinfoil hat on. All right, guys. I think that's pretty much the majority of all of this stuff. So let's get out of the news and let's get into the charts. Yeah, I was looking at Dash earlier because we have a partner group that we work with that did some writing for us, and they had a bunch of different privacy coin reports, which will go live on our website tomorrow. So I was looking at Dash specifically today because I was going through their report. So very interesting reports. If you guys haven't seen those yet, check them out. You can get those for free right now. Go over to Cryptosomniac.com on the homepage, and one second. If you just scroll down there to reports. Here's the Ripple versus Stellar. So if you are still not aware of what the differences are, that's our Ripple versus Stellar report from earlier this year. Zcash, Monero, and then we've got the Dash report coming out tomorrow. So all pretty good stuff. And then if you want to, if you want to read about the conferences that we went to, I did write a little update on that as well. So, all right, let's see. Sick, Chris, you are the man. I appreciate you posting that link and. That is getting opened right now. Cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Shout out you, Chris Wise. Dude, it's not tan, dude. Look, it's just the different colored light, so I didn't look as see-through. I'm in Colorado. I'm as far from tan as I could possibly be. But anyway. My local business has been killing it, says Jay-Z Drift. Heck yeah. Still no reply on Twitter about motorsport. Dude, you know what? I did, Jay-Z, just so you know, I did talk to Rob about that. So I will pass that. I'll try and pass it forward again, give him a reminder, because I know they did sponsor the NASCAR, so certainly might be interested. I don't know. Again, I'll remind him. I did talk to him about it, though, when we were in Vegas. So, yeah, interesting looking articles. If you want to know, again, for the record, we didn't write those. We partnered. There was a group called Eden Block out of Israel, and they do phenomenal writing and reporting. So we had partnered with them to put some of their stuff out. And anyway, those are the reports. So enough of the reports. It's not what you guys came here for. You guys came here for the TA. Let's get into it. Okay. Honestly, guys, I don't think there's really too much point for me right now. I'm not looking to get into any more alts at the moment until Bitcoin figures out what it wants to do. I will, Jay-Z. I will definitely PM you, dude. We'll sort it out. But yeah, so let's just take a look. Look at this. We saw some nice attempt by the bulls to push that price back up. Excuse me. But just not enough volume to get it over. We did see. So I'm looking at the daily here. You know, we've seen started to get up a little bit higher, but we are in this. This is the order block right here. So I think we've wicked off the bottom of this order block 3-4 times. I would really like to see some more bullish volume come in and some more money come into the market before I would be willing to even look at trading for altcoins right now. Effectively, I'm just trying to protect my Bitcoin stack right now. The altcoins that I have are, I'm happy with the amount of those altcoins that I have, and those are just sitting in long-term storage at this point. So basically, the only thing I've been looking forward lately is just to flip in and out of Bitcoin, because I think until it stops throwing a temper tantrum, it's going to keep wrecking everything else. So I suspect if we go down below that 3K range, the next place where there's any kind of support and resistance at all is between about 2K and 2,800. So we'll see what happens. I mean, if it comes down and if it comes down and bounces off the bottom of this order block again, you guys see this? You see what I'm seeing here? So this is the order block, right? I looked at that back in the way there, back in the day there last year, and then so you can see it's just, I mean, let's look at it into some smaller time frames, and we're just basically bouncing through that order block. Yeah, I'm still Casper. Bouncing through that order block, and you know, this gives me a little bit of hope. Hold on, I got way too many indicators going on here. Hold on a second. Hide the TV. Hide this, and I'll even hide my moving averages here. So this acted in in the exact opposite of what I thought it would do, based on my my earlier. So I don't know if you guys can see this here. I saw head and shoulders forming, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder, but it ended up going up. So who knows? I just don't. This is what I don't like, right? So if you start to see this line here, we see some good bullish volume, but then it's just tapering off, right? I mean, let me make that the whole thing, and it's, you know, so you see it starts to go up, but then just doesn't seem to have a ton of follow through. So I don't think we're getting past 4 grand anytime in the near future, guys. I think 4 grand is going to be pretty heavy resistance, unfortunately. And then we've got to get past about 43.50, and you know, from there past 4,800. So we've got some hurdles to overcome. We've definitely got some room to go. So I think if we do not, I think realistically we're probably going to see this trade a little bit through this range for a few days, and I think it's going to break. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to break. Again, I don't think institutional money is still happy with this price. I don't think they would, assuming that they are coming in and they are going to be the saviors that we all think that they are going to be. They still don't want to pay $3,800 per Bitcoin. They still don't want to pay it. They're going to beat it back down to where it was. If that is really what's going to happen, they're going to beat it back down to, or try their best to beat it back down to where it was before the bull run started last year. And we are just about there right now. So, I mean, look at this, guys. Let's go back out to weekly to make it easy. And this was when everything went kind of crazy, really, between July and October. Cooled off a little bit and then took off again. But, I mean, we're right there, right? So, basically, I think realistically, unless we see some money come into this market, we're about to lose a significant portion of the money that came in here. Let me just draw the ruler over it. But I think between here and here, we're about to see a significant portion of those investors leave if it does not sustain the current price level. And if that happens, I'm still holding my Bitcoin. Still holding my Bitcoin. Still holding my Bitcoin. Still holding my. I still got my Cardano. Still got my Monero. Still got my Stellar. You know, I'm still holding my tokens that I believe in. I don't think this game is over, but you know, there's a real good case for a stop loss to be made every day the last week. So anyway, yeah, hold that. Yeah, I'm holding that $5,800 Bitcoin. Yes, I am, but don't think I don't have some order buys in down at. I'm seriously, I've got order buys stacked in, clear down from the bottom of 2 up to about 2,500 in case I get caught slipping again, like the last one, because that's what happened last time. Was I basically thought it was going to bounce a little below 6. I thought 58 would be where I would catch it off a wick and it would climb back up because they had defended it for so long. I was wrong. I was wrong. So I got it at 5,800 and I'm bag holding it now, but it's fine with me. I was buying it well before it was this price, and I'll be buying it. You know, I'm going to keep buying it in the future, just waiting for a little bit better price, just like those institutional investors. All right, what else? I don't know. What do you guys want to see? You guys want me to take a look at anything? I really don't have too much today, guys. Hopefully I'll have a little bit more info on the show for tomorrow. Trying to do some more. Guys, I really thought I was going to do more pre-produced content while I've been on the road, just because I thought it would be easier to do, but it turns out it's actually easier to just be placed in one place. So I miss. Sorry, I gotta quit reading in the middle of talking. That really messes me up. Yes, 1500 end of year narrative says Elizabeth. Yeah, that's. I think we've all known that's been. that's been kind of out the door since July, hasn't it? I mean, come on, really. In the future, sure, certainly possible. I think so. I think Novogratz's predictions could be correct. They could be totally kooky, but I think time will tell, and I can only tell. I can only start to tell you what I see, guys, and tell you what I'm experiencing. So I try to provide the best information I can for you guys, and the most accurate technical analysis that I can for you guys. But of course, don't just listen to me. I'm just some dude on YouTube. I love it when people get mouthy in the chat or like, you're supposed to be the expert. I'm like, when did I say I was an expert? I just said I'm an industry insider. I can't code. I'm not an expert. I'm a guy who knows how to read a chart, and I'm a guy who's not afraid to talk in public. That's what I am. Why did you have? Well, so that's a very good question. Hey, what's up, Amit? What's happening? You missed about 26 minutes, and not really, man. Mostly a news show today. Let's see. The best of times, these are the worst of times. Yeah, that's effectively it, right? I mean, ultimately, these times are great if you believe in the product for the long term. If you don't, you're freaking out and wondering if you should have sold already. Yeah, I can't code. No code. I'm like the most rudimentary, terrible HTML coder. That's about it. Nope. That's not my area of expertise. Trust circle broken. Right? Does it help that Sam and Snare are both engineers? Right? They brought me in because I'm the business guy. I'm the suit that came out of corporate. So that's what they brought me in for. Sorry, Jay-Z. Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin the party, man. I've thought about learning Solidity on several occasions and just ultimately decided that it's not the most effective use of my time. But one of these days perhaps. The light box makes me look pinkish. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, here, what about this? There, is it better when I'm just pale face? Hold on, adjust the lights. There we go. I was also trying not to have this like transparent thing happening on my hair when I get over lighter backgrounds. I don't know. The camera on my laptop is obviously not as good as the camera that we have in the studio, so maybe I should have taken that with me. What was my worst trade? That's actually pretty easy to say. I bought Einsteinium. I bought Einsteinium. I totally got caught out in a John McAfee pump and dump because I read the white paper and was like, yeah, being able to assign where you can assign where you want to fund research in the scientific community, that sounds like a great idea. Dumb. Just blew the... It was dumb. I didn't think it through. It was in the middle of throw a dart and everything's great, and you know, it seemed like a good idea at the time. So did Lisk, really. So you know, at the time they seemed like good ideas. Sam is okay. I talk to Sam almost every day, and if you guys actually, I should just say, if you guys want to chat with Sam, he has been a little bit more active in Discord lately. So hopefully he will be coming back on the channel at some point, but he has at least been popping into Discord here and there to chime in. So. Yeah. If you're curious about Sam, if you're a Moon Lounge member, just DM him in there. And if you're not a Moon Lounge member, sign up. Take the free trial. Okay. What was my best trade? My best trade was Ethereum. I got in on Ethereum at $7. Like, yeah. So yeah, that was my best trade for sure. I did pretty well on a few other trades last year. You know, I held on to a few things. I held on to a few things because I had an emotional attachment and that would have been good trades that I should have just cut my losses on. But you know, I didn't get in. When I started getting into this, it was with very little money. So I always say, get in, learn the lessons early, and learn the lessons cheap, because you don't want to wait to learn the stop loss lesson until you're playing with, you know, enough money to get a car with or something like that. So yeah. All right. Let's see, what else? Multicultural Jason. Did I ever cash out? Yes, I've cashed out. Yes, I've cashed out pretty regularly. All the way out? No. I'm playing with house money. Does that make it? Does that tell you if I'm an okay trader or not? I'm playing with house money. I'm still in the green, even in this terrible bear market. I'm still in the green. Yeah, it's very difficult. Honestly, I wish that I wouldn't have had as much attachment to everything in December, but I was like, woohoo! Let's go ahead and let this all just ride out, because we saw how fast it went from nothing to something, so it can go from something to everything in no time. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement, guys. It really is. Easy to get caught up in the excitement, but you know, again, that's why I say it's better to learn these lessons early and learn them cheap. You know, like I said, I'm still in the green is the upside for now, so I would stop out of this market and just sit on the sidelines with my fiat, waiting and waiting. If I ever did think it was going all the way to zero, I would just stop out. I'd probably just leave my money, like for the Coinbase money, I would just leave it in Coinbase. Why not? Unless they go out of business. But you know, in anticipation of a bull market coming back in, why not leave it there? They're FDIC insured. It's the same thing as leaving it in my bank account. All right. Well, anybody want to see any coins? Because honestly, at this point, I'm just jabbering, and I don't know that this is the best quality content for you guys unless you just want to hang out here with me. Anything? Anybody? Anybody? No? What was your guys' best trade? That's a good question. What was your best trade? And again, let's never talk dollars, right? Because what is a best trade for somebody that started with no money versus the worst trade that was somebody that was super rich? Those, you know, it's all perspective, right? So let's talk percentages. So if you can talk about where you got in on it at if you know what the price is at now, but I don't really care what you sold it at. Just talk about like your percentage gains and things like that. That's usually my overall opinion on how you should talk about this game in general. Litecoin and a Cardano and Ontology. All right, so we're gonna do those, and I'm getting the hell out of here. Verge sticky. Oh, you must have got it at the right time, man. I made money on Verge, but I got out once I realized that it's total vaporware. How did I know to buy ETH at $7? Real talk. I got a tip from somebody there's a guy that my girlfriend and I know that was talking to her about it, and she convinced me to do it. So shout out to my girlfriend for convincing me to get in on Ethereum, because that has led me to being on this channel right now. So yeah. All right. Is there a platform to learn how to long and short with leverage? You know, here's the thing about that. People are going to get pissed at me for this, but I'm going to do it anyway. You know, I get a lot of people. Let me ask you guys a question, actually. While I'm on here with you, a lot of you guys watch me all the time. I see you guys' names and everything. Are you guys mad that we have the Cryptosomniac advantage? Does it make you feel some type of way? Like, I get a lot of comments where people are like, yeah, way to talk about your private trade group all the time. And I'm like, dude, it's a TA class is basically what it is. We just in there talking to each other, sharpen each other up. We're not shilling anything. We're not, the only thing I'm really shilling to you is Monarch, which I totally believe in, and the Cryptosomniac advantage, which I totally believe in. So, you know, like I try not to make the whole show a big commercial for the advantage or for Monarch, but, you know, these are things I believe in, and this is, you know, I can't, I can't not tell you my truth, right? I mean, whether it's the truth, it's at least my truth. I believe in those projects. So anyways, back to the question at hand. The whole reason I started on this rant is because we have an entire, in our Discord server, so in the Moon Lounge, if you want to know, Putski, if you wanted to know where you can learn about margin trading and longing and shorting with leverage, I will show you. You just go into the Moon Lounge, and then you can go down to the margin trading channel, and look at this. Look at how active this is, you guys. There are chatty Cathys up in here talking about longing and shorting, different techniques, other exchanges where there are futures, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, honestly, if you like, honestly, guys, I don't margin trade very much, like hardly at all, really. So, you know, I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert in this area, but we sure have some in this group. You know, James, our Aussie, who you guys do see on the channel every once in a while, he is very well versed in margin trading. You know, a lot of these guys are very, very savvy. We've got people all over the world that are in this group. So if you want to learn or you want to learn about it, that's where I'd point you, because realistically, I don't know where else to point you. So, yeah, cool. Well, now that we got that out of the way, again, guys, I don't mean to just constantly show the advantage. I do try to come on here and try to give you some good information, but we are also trying to run a business. We do want to eat, pay our bills, that kind of thing. People do like to get paid for their work. I feel like we give a lot of free content away, so I hope you guys aren't mad that I do talk about our subscription service. So anyway, with that, I think let's go ahead and look at Ontology. And then, so yeah, I'm going to do Ontology, we'll look at Cardano, and we'll look at, what was the other one? Litecoin. Sure, I'll look at Litecoin. Full disclosure, I sold all my Litecoin, all of it. I don't have any of it anymore, and I will not buy it anymore. So take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, let's zoom in and just have a look-see. And so with this, I can say, when I'm saying I would look to enter this trade at, I would look to exit, I wouldn't, is the short version of it. I'm personally done with Litecoin. I am not going to bash it or its community. I just don't have any use for it right now, and I think it's going to, like, technologically is going to get surpassed. It already has been, in my opinion. So that is starting to look like a bit of a falling wedge, though, huh? You guys see this on the weekly? So who knows? Maybe Litecoin is due for a little breakout. It's looking kind of wedgy. Okay, fine. So maybe I take it back. If I were to look into entering this trade, well, I think Bitcoin breaking is going to cause this to fall further again, because none of these patterns matter. None of this stuff matters when everything is still tied to the alpha. As long as as long as when Bitcoin goes down, everything else goes down. This stuff is all less useful, right? Because Bitcoin's going to do whatever it wants. So I try to use the technical analysis to figure out what Bitcoin's going to do, and then if I think Bitcoin is going to behave, then I would start to use, then that would be my first factor to go, okay, that's the first indicator that I would start to, match up with these other indicators here. But that being said, anyways, I guess realistically, if I wanted to try to pick some up, I don't know. I mean, you could try to pick some up at like 1930 and market sell by where it's at now. Or, I mean, anywhere, I would say anywhere. I mean, like this is the order block right here. Where's that rectangle tool? Come on, brain, work. Come on. Damn it. Oh yeah, it's in here. Duh. Duh. Okay. Yeah, this doesn't even, I mean, this barely qualifies. It looks like it's basically just going to dump right through this, to be honest with you. Oh, I'm looking at weekly. Let me break this down into some smaller intervals. But the falling wedge being on the weekly, generally the larger size patterns will supersede, so keep that in mind. If you're a Litecoin fan, I would say it would be fair to keep an eye on Litecoin. Again, I wouldn't be looking to enter a trade until Bitcoin decides what it's going to do. But like I said, this long-term falling wedge here does generally break bullish. So yeah. Oops. So, I mean, it's already effectively, like, it's got a little bit more support down to about 25, 24 bucks, roughly. And then there's not a ton of support below that, and it's basically just a free fall to this next order book here. So if it can't hold 35, I would say, honestly, I would honestly, I would have stopped out. I mean, I told you what I did. I sold my Litecoin. I don't think it's going up anytime soon, so I sold it. That is my honest opinion. But if I were to look to enter a trade, these would be the areas. So somewhere between, 20 and the current price, and looking to exit that trade by the current price, or you could wait for it to fall into this next order block and place some orders somewhere between 10 bucks and 12 bucks, and then watch the wicks and just look. I mean, ultimately, guys, I always just look to exit it basically by the wicks, because I'd rather have surefire profit, or surefire profit than maybe a little bit more. All right. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Chris. Charlie Lee killed it. He flooded his product at the top, but at least he had the common decency to tell the Litecoin community, whatever. I'm whatever. Yeah. Whatever. Charlie Lee's rich, and I am nowhere near as rich, so good for him. But I will never buy Litecoin again. All right. Let's see. Yeah, we can look at Cardano. Sure. God. Brutal. It's like I didn't even change the chart. Ah, jeez. Yeah, I mean, Cardano is just barely above the falling wedge that I've drew, Jesus, months ago. I mean, this is... I will say this, guys. Cardano has been one of my long-term holds that I have been considering cutting loose. Considering. Just because. I don't know. I'm going to hold on to it till probably, realistically, I'll probably sell right before mainnet and then pick it back up. But, yeah, I don't know. I would like to see... more progress from them. We'll see. I don't know. Now that the whole IOHK, or rather, I'm sorry, the foundation drama is resolved. IOHK foundation drama is resolved, or Cardano Foundation. Hopefully they can get back to work. I like Charles Hoskinson, smart guy. I enjoy hearing him speak, and I enjoy his perspective. So who knows? We'll see. But not looking good. Not looking good at all. I mean, it's staying above the downtrend, or the former downtrend, but not much. So I need to go back out to some larger time frames. I mean, it's not the all-time low. It's not the all-time low. But look, there's just nothing really. There's not really a ton of support. It skyrocketed up and dumped, and then had a little bit of, sideways action for a couple of days, and then mooned super hard again. So, I don't know. That's realistically, I'm actually considering going over to my Bittrex and stop lossing on this. I'm just setting a stop. And I couldn't even tell you what my entry price was off the top of my head, but this is real close. So, yeah, Cardano is not one I would forget about. Cardano is just one that I'm definitely at this juncture considering selling it and just keeping an eye on it. So, all right. Let's see. Is taking out a loan to buy? No, don't do that. And also, we're way cheaper than that. I mean, you don't take out a loan. Hey, Chris, look at me right now. Don't ever take out a loan to be in this space. Don't ever do that. I'm not a financial advisor, but this is this is my friendly financial advice. Don't take out a loan to make bets, right? Because that's effectively what you're doing when you're trading stock, when you're trading commodities, when you're trading crypto. You're gambling. So don't take out a loan to gamble, and don't ever gamble with money that you can't afford to lose. So no, it is not worth taking out a loan to buy the advantage. All right. Sweet. Well, I like the. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for throwing a little support. Again, I try not to overshill the advantage, but I appreciate everybody supporting me on that. Let's see. Boy, you guys. Jason should have listened to Charlie Lee. Yeah, I should have. I didn't even have that much Litecoin at the time, but it's still. I was still buying Litecoin. I was still buying it to move Bitcoin. Basically, I was like, I would buy it on Coinbase and then send it to Binance and sell it to Bitcoin so that I could trade. All right. If it gets to 2 cents, I'll take in everything you've got. Cardano says crypto cool. Right on, dude. Again, like I said, I'm a fan of Charles Hoskinson, but I would really like to see further development. All right. Let's see. Until it's adopted and having more usability. That's ultimately what it's going to come down to for this entire space. Until normal people are using it and not caring that they're using it, until the UX is similar to what you can get from a PayPal or a Venmo, we got a long way to go for adoption. All right. So wait, I said one more that I would do, and then okay, Litecoin. Oh yeah, Ontology. Right. Okay, let's look at Ontology. Where are you? There we go. $300 in Verge made you 8K when it pumped. Yeah, dude, Snay made a boatload of money on Verge. That's the bright side when you get in on some. I think I got in on Verge at like half a cent or something. I can't even remember when I sold. It's been so long. But basically, once I realized that it's basically just Tor, it's not really a privacy protocol. I got rid of Verge. All right, let's see. Oh, Amit, that's. I just saw your one. That's seeing your portfolio go up and down. Yeah, brother. I think this is. We're really close to pretty much everybody that got interested in cryptocurrency in the last. I'll call it 2 years now, since we're almost through this year. But anybody, I think we're at a real strong risk of anybody that got into cryptocurrency in the last 2 years walking away and just because unless they're a true believer. Like I said, we're getting back to that point where everybody is in that same boat where they're like, man, I watched my money go from, I put, a few $100 in, a few $1,000, and it went up to $2 grand, 20 grand, 200 grand, wherever your number is. And then, people were like, sweet, I believe. And got caught holding the bag on the way down. So let's hope. All right. So Chris says, considering selling his Cardano as well. Go all in with, I don't know what AST is. I know Poe and Knowles. I don't know what AST is. I lost my hopes for Cardano, says Coin Grinder. Heather Starbucks likes Charles. Chris Aldonado does not. Yeah, I mean, Chris, the advantage is pretty affordable. So honestly, dude, you don't need to take a loan. I don't think. I mean, I don't know what your financial situation is, but it's a pretty affordable thing. Let's see, what else? Chris Alderano says Charles Hoskinson's a douche. He'll walk around announcing who he is like he's crypto royalty. Here's what I know. I know that Sam had a very, very long conversation with Charles almost a year ago on this channel, and I thought, hearing what he had to say, I thought I really liked his perspective. I thought he seemed like he was a pretty humble guy. Again, that's my first impression. I have never really met him in person, but I have gotten to be at various things where he has spoken, seen him on a number of different panels, seen him interact with people. He seems like a pretty cool guy to me. I don't know him. I don't know him personally. So, but I have not heard him walk around trying to flex. I do know he was at Start Engine 2.0 earlier this year, and he was walking around in the main hall and everything. Like, you know, he took a couple laps before he ended up going into what I would assume is the green room for the speakers. I don't know. He seems like a nice guy to me. Again, I don't know. I don't know him. I have not seen any of his actions that lead me to believe that he's a terrible person. So let's see. All right. We need an honest shill from Jason for coins he's going to buy after Bitcoin finds a spot. Guys, honestly, you know the coins I'm going to buy. Realistically, like, I'm keeping an eye out for newer stuff, but realistically, there's just a few that I'm actually interested in, and I'm already holding most of them. So I'm looking to add to those stacks. There will be some that will come out that, you know, that I'm interested in. But again, I'm not trying to get into anything until Bitcoin makes up its mind, because you get into an alt right now and lose all your Bitcoin. What's the point of that? Yeah. So anyway, AST is AirSwap. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I just didn't know the ticker. 600K miners quit. Yeah, 600K miners. It's a rough estimate. There was an article I read about it. A group in Asia was saying that was their estimate because of just how much hash rate they'd seen fall off. But the good news about that is it makes it easier to mine Bitcoin. So if there's less people mining, it makes it easier to get a block reward. Silver linings, right? Silver linings. Join Cryptosomniac Advantage and try. Yeah. In fact, there. Thanks, Amit. Thanks for the endorsement, dude. Again, guys, I'm not gonna promise you that you join the Advantage and you're gonna get rich. I can't make those kind of promises. That's ridiculous. We're not telling you what to buy. We're not telling you. We're just talking about the trades that we're interested in. We're talking about the projects that we're interested in, and we're talking about the techniques. Like, why would you bank an entry at this point? What do you think a good entry would be based on what the chart tells you? And honestly, I've seen members of our group go from people that were like just watching on this channel to posting fire charts, man. Like, you know, I've seen people that are actually in this chat become better technical analysts in the group. So, you know, it's ultimately join the group and try, man. That's all I can say. If it's not for you, you can quit within 14 days and you have to pay a thin red cent. Yeah, you don't have to pay a thin red cent. So, anyways, all right. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for me, guys. I think that's it. I've managed to fill 52 minutes worth of not that important. Oh, right, I'm sorry, I didn't TA Ontology. Oof, God, it's brutal. Stop loss. Honestly, seriously. Okay, here's what I have to say about this. If Bitcoin is going to continue to go down, then we should see this at below ICO prices. Or if not below ICO prices, at least below this all-time low. If Bitcoin is going to continue to go down, which I think it is. And that means that we're just at the tip of the last order block for Ontology right now. And it's already getting down into the area where there's just no more volume. So I don't know. This does look like a little bit of a falling wedge, but I think that curve right there is going to invalidate that. I think that's going to make it a little bit. Yeah. I wouldn't want to confidently say to enter a trade on this right now. Honestly, realistically, if you must get into Ontology, I would put my buys in from 1380 to 1684, and I would set a stop loss at like 1360. Like, because if it drops below that, I mean, you know, maybe give yourself a little more leeway. To taste, right? Obviously, whatever your risk-reward ratio is, I'd give yourself a couple of percent. But yeah, I think it looks, I mean, just at the price point that it's at, there's one of two ways to look at it. This is either the best price you're ever going to get on Ontology again, or too tenuous, and why buy now because it's going to fall further, which is why I say pick your place somewhere in the middle, right? And if you must buy some, then just buy some at the low and halfway up through the order block, because it's very likely that order is coming to you. So, all right. As soon as I get a sniff of a bull, I'm joining. Honestly, guys, we'd love to have you in. It's you know, again, it's it's a fun community, and I think that's really what I like try to tout about Cryptosomniac Advantage. Is it really is a community. I mean, it's like these are our pals, right? Like those guys in there, these are our buddies. We all are kind of hanging out in the same room and helping each other get better. It's the only thing I could equate this to was like being in the locker room, right? Like I used to be a fighter. I used to compete Muay Thai, and there's just a bond you get. I was never a team sports guy, but I imagine probably football and locker rooms are pretty similar. But there's just a bond you get when you're going through the trenches with somebody, and that's what's happening in our Cryptosomniac community. We've got this full community of people, iron sharpening iron, and helping reinforce what we think is accurate, or just being able to have somebody to bounce your opinions and ideas off of is invaluable, I think, in this space. So anyways, guys, that's it for me. That's it for me today, guys. If you have been enjoying the content, please do smash that thumbs up, and I would love to have you guys like and subscribe, tell your friends. I do remain Jason Randall from Cryptosomniac. You guys keep your stop losses tight. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so much. I'm out.